country's call to arms. The single rose in the vase signifies the blood they may have shed in sacrifice to ensure the freedom of our beloved United States of America. The rose also reminds us of the family and friends of our missing comrades who keep faith while awaiting their return. The red ribbon on the vase represents the red ribbon worn on the lapels of thousands who demand with unyielding determination a proper account of comrades who are not among us. A slice of lemon on the plate reminds us of their bitter fate. The salt sprinkled on the plate reminds us of the countless volunteers of families as they wait. The glass is inverted. They cannot toast with us at this time. The chair is empty. They are not here. The candle is reminiscent of the light of hope, which lives in our hearts to illuminate their way home, away from their captors to open arms of a grateful nation. The American flag reminds us that many of them may never return and have paid the supreme sacrifice to ensure our freedom. Let us pray to the Supreme Commander that all of our comrades will soon be back within our ranks. Let us remember and never forget their sacrifice. May God forever watch over them and protect them and their families. On this day, Veterans Day, we are commemorating the service of all veterans who have worn the uniform of the United States. We remember how men and women set aside their civilian pursuits to serve their nation's cause, defending the freedom of mankind and preserving our precious American heritage. We believe our strength on the battlefield, on the supply lines which nourished our armed might, lay in the justice of our cause against the forces of evil. We believe our determination made us better warriors because we fought with our minds and our hearts as well as our bodies. We recognize service to our country, a cause that does not end with the termination of military service. We continue our endeavors on behalf of an honorable world peace with a feeling of profound gratitude to God and to the men and women who gave their lives as their part of the cost of this noblest of causes. Out of blood and sweat, we learned of purpose, sacrifice, tolerance, bravery, and discipline. These are solid foundation stones upon which a great nation is built. In our continuing quest for an honorable world peace, we must cultivate these virtues. While each of you are special guests, I would like to introduce some of our local dignitaries and allow them to come forward and make some brief remarks and presentations befitting the occasion. Mayor of Bowie, G. Fred Robinson.
Thank you, Brian. Good morning.
Good morning.
What a typical, beautiful day in Bowie. The story of America is great, but it's a story in progress. It's a story with a glorious beginning, an heroic character, and a future limited only by our imagination and our willingness to embrace that future. At the time of our birth, history was written by conquerors and overlords appointed by their masters. People were objects, owned by those wielding force by force of arms. Our forefathers rejected that yoke of tyranny, and their courage changed the world forever, sending the powerful monarchs to the dustbin of history. The great American experiment not only gave us life here, it gave hope to the people of the world and began an unstoppable quest for freedom. At our beginning, young brave men and women boldly challenged the power of the sword and with incredible courage presented an exciting new idea to the world, that freedom and liberty were God-given conditions, not something given or taken by a self-motivated royalty. Great minds and stout hearts declared that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And that thought unleashed an idea that forever changed the world. We owe an unredeemable debt to those that had the courage of their dreams and freely committed their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor to a great and noble cause. Their grand, marvelous, and incredible vision became the glorious nation we now call our homeland. But our move from dream to reality, to grow word from deed, to expand from birth to life, required something more. We did not become the nation we are today without sacrifice, and it is that sacrifice that we bring to this gathering, to this day. At the beginning, a corps of brave and dedicated warriors took on the uniform of our nation. They won our freedom on the battlefield, and their successors have, in an unbroken line of service, sustained that freedom against enemies around the world. They were and are the guardians that protected our birth, nurtured our youth, and protect us to this very day. Without these incredible Americans, it's quite possible that historians may well have recorded a brief shining moment, a time marked by grand words and noble goals that could well have faded from view quickly. Our forebears gave us form and destiny, and our debt to them is indeed mighty. But we have another debt. We also share a debt to those that have served in the military forces of the United States since the beginning, to those that gave life to the dream and have protected that dream, often with their own lives. Absent their role, absent their dedication and their honor, there may very well have been no America, no land of the free and no home of the brave. So it's right and proper that we gather on this day to publicly recognize those whose dedication guarded, nurtured, and protected our nation, and to publicly acknowledge their gift and their honorable service. It's also our duty to honor the obligation spoken of by President Abraham Lincoln at Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, when he committed this nation to provide for those who have borne the battle, his widow, and his orphan. We must never forget, without them, without their heroic and gallant service, we might not be here today. It is our sacred duty to serve and protect them as well. So on this special day, we gather, we remember, and we honor those who carried forth the spirit of America. For as long as we remember them, they will live forever. So I thank you for your presence today at this important event. Your presence gives credit to the nation. God bless our veterans. God bless all here. God bless the United States of America. Commander, on behalf of all of my colleagues in the City Council, the great people of the City of Bowie, we are pleased to present to you a proclamation recognizing this fine day and thank you and the members of the Veterans